Okay, cool. So let's start. So where did I left last time? I've I think I need to already merged the current. Let's see, request closed, get into microservices, and made common service. So indeed, so if I go to the project, we do git pull. Okay, fantastic. What are we up to date? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um. Oh, okay. I was already on the new. So I was already ready to make changes. Good. Okay. Um. One thing I wanted to test was the um coverage. Right. So make 42%. So upper router is not covered. Run config course. Connector is not covered. Yeah, we could remove this actually. I'll remember. Straight now. So we go to the web. This is completely useless, isn't it? That's good to go. Yeah, we did. So now this is 87%. And group with middleware right now it's not used. It's okay. Let's leave it as it is. Fix redundant error check in index router. I just want to do a quick recap on what the brainstorming of last time using Excalibur. So this is how we connect, count, you, authorize, email and password. This is a different auth provider. So this was more or less the schema really badly done, like a sketch of Nakama, and is a service that I am making inspiration from. And this is my version, slightly different. So this is the connection. We have to create right now an account where the schema should be quite simple. But thanks to the account ID, Um, and just this element, which is nothing more than a string, probably UUID or something like that. This thing holds together everything else. So if you have an account ID, you could have access to, or anyway, you have a way to link different profiles of a specific game, which then could have multiple or even from one to multiple n amount of character in a game. We need to think a character almost as a single save, and or multiple characters you think as Path of Exile, where you access with your account, but then you could create multiple characters, you know. Good. Now, just let me check this other little diagram. What he meant was, let's start from game one. You access through the account ID into the game profile of this game one. Via GameHangar, you have GameHangar is a service per game, deployed per game, probably in Kubernetes and stuff like that. And what includes, but that's just a very short summary. What it could include, it's game-specific data. So you have a profile, which again is the same, right? Held by the account ID. He has a profile character. It's just like a one-to-many table, and then not necessarily. Well, we can make it to the profile column itself, a foreign key, and connects a character, and a character can have all of this storage. Then in reality, some of this, okay, like the storage, could possibly be on the profile as well, but probably not. It depends. It depends. That could be changed. I would go by characters as like, or maybe a way to make some part of the storage unique per profile. And again, if we think of not maybe Path of Exile, but more like Diablo 4. If I remember correctly, I don't know if they changed that, but when you create a new character, you have your storage, right? Now I don't remember how it's called. Diablo 4 persistent storage. I don't know what's stash. Stash. Yeah, it's called a stash, right? Perfect. It's a shared persistent storage system across your characters, and they also call them characters. Call it characters. So, let's do this very quickly. It's not something I wanted to do, but okay, just like that. So we may have to think of the storage, not something that has an actual foreign key to the character, but it's just linked to some entity. And thanks to this, it actually could be easy to export into microservice later on. So all these loose IDs, I think you don't have to always use foreign keys. You kind of want to manage them by yourself. Good. All of this, you want to have access to another service, which is called the GameHangar identity, and it's a complete different service. Well, almost different. It's global to your game. It's like acts like a portal. So each of this game will enter the same identity. And this will map your account, a person's account from your game via different means. So the device, email, password, and then all the third parties. So these are third parties, and these are more like internal, I would say. And yeah, so database, also Postgres. And let's say, so we have to think of this. I'll keep this open, switch, and I'm really taking too long to do all of this. I think I need to do two different streams. Not sure what it's. What? Okay. Just a sec. Okay. So let's do this. We have a router. We have a router already implemented, and we set account, right? We are inside the identity. We also need another thing. I mean, we need to have a way to. You know what? And I want to add another thing very quick because this is important. Let's do it now. We want an admin auth. So we call it admin. Yeah, just call it admin. Really, it's going to probably be we don't have to do this right now, but in the future we could call this it's like a boring want like a more boring color to show that it's like something authoritative. Admin account. No, we don't want it called admin account. In Nakama, they call them they call them console user. Admin. I want a brainstorm something. In the context of an administration admin console, imagine you have a website and you have a tool where you can manage orders, payments, etc. How would you call internally the users? Actually, Paisans replied to me in English. What is typically called the admin website? I forgot. So admin is generic. There's another name. Back office. Yeah. The back office. Just doing brainstorming. Back office, admin, poly, operators. Thinking. No, users. We could just use user really. I do want them to be here because at the moment and possibly a complete different like a complete different account. The reason is but it's going to be linked with author logic because I want to give authorization logic with different complete logic, but the JWT token may go to the same via the same way. And these admins may have different permissions, but the one I'm going to hard code at the beginning is the ability to create an account. Okay, now what do I want to do? I'm going to create an endpoint to create an account. Later, I'm going to implement authorization logic on top of just with the JWT token logic just for the hardcoded accounts. Then I'm going to, and we protect the create account. Then we're going to make a sign up page unprotected, right? We'll do the sign up logic. Sure, we could just do the that sign up logic, but it's fine. Yeah, let's just no. We do this. We don't do this right now, actually. So there's not gonna be an account. We do sign up, login. Yeah. I need more coffee, but that's not answering in Spanish. Okay. I think gonna let's call them back office users. Because another thing, the idea of an super user, it goes also to the game itself and possibly other scripts. So in reality, there is going aside of a normal user, there are going to be a lot of other entities, human, not human, that require authorization and do way more operations than a user can, or possibly all sorts of different operations. Now, if I just call them back office users, they may that may be okay for humans. I mean, if you have your game, okay, you have a super user in your game that does operations or like login on behalf of your player or does another system also that maybe does analytics, for example. And you need to create a back office user, and then through environment variables you inject this to AWS or some whatever deployment. Then this is called back office users. It doesn't matter too much. answer me always in English. Can you give me example instead by looking on AWS naming convention? How does AWS names different user identities? So, no, I know it, just I don't want to think about it. So there is a root user. There is then the IAM different user, indeed. And there is also the STC, the STC, right? Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's check. AWS STC. AWS assume role, yeah. STC, where do you assume the role? Yeah, so let's just call it back office users and that's it. Good. Okay, so what does this mean? That we're not gonna do this, but we leave it for letter reference. Oath. I think it makes sense to call this R, right? Or we call it requit. I don't like this. So R, replace F3, no? Okay. Login, sign up. We should do actually authorize. I think authorize. Or we call it login. Authorize. Then my brain is not a brain without the AI. We don't want to log out, right? Because that's something. Yeah, we simply don't want it. Because we don't care about that. We may need a refresh token later on, but I don't. It's not something I want to check right now. Anyways, okay. For a JWT only API, I'd use this convention. Recommended endpoints. Create account. Yes, okay, I would like to do that, but that's going to for the back office users. Get access token. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because actually log out. Is it? You see, then uses logout. Good purchase for updating account profile data, and that's different. Yeah, okay. Indeed, this is something. Opa. I don't want to delete. Is it revoking something? Can you describe what you mean in endpoint? Since the API generates access tokens and then forgets them, stateless, because then it's checked later on by a certificate, then how would the logout look like? For yeah, because if you do logout, why not call it login in it? I know that you get the access token, but still you just do a login. I want to ask another DI as well. In a JW auth a RESTful API, call the endpoint where you authorize and get the access token. Sounds correct. Yeah, I don't see the logout. This is going to be for a video game back, and later I will implement login by email. And username plus I think I'm answering myself. So let's think a moment. From a game perspective, I'm always going to get the JWT token when again depend regardless of the method. And then so kind of the way you send may be different. Maybe you send the type, the method type. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a very post. Yeah, indeed. What is better because I say so. Because your inputs are not just describing a provider. So anyway, yeah, so this is better. Small notes, gust. Gust is the only one that may feel slightly different. So, so it says to auto-create your account, yes, but not for every login type. My recommendation is auto-create. Oh, right, because these ones are already authentication elsewhere. So yeah, indeed. see if it's not too much. Actually, I think I'll do that. Unless the AI is giving me an answer of something that I'm not thinking right now. Because I'm clearly saying I sign up with username, I sign up with email. Clear separation of concern. Solid methodologies. Oh, auth register. Huh, I like. So, but you don't want to expose a public resource starting point like then it's good. Sign up. Create a new player on the account, login. This is very understandable. Important may not. Yeah, it is. But you don't. Yes, it is. You're right. Perfect. Yes, yes, you got this right. You got this. There is also big difference here. Is that you, when you create this, you don't assign a password. So you need to think how to assign the password. Really. Hey, thanks for the follow. Sister? Sister. So I don't know how to pronounce it. So anyways, what was I doing? Yeah, to behavior I would sign up. Yep. Good stuff. One small design decision. Steam, PlayStation, about that. I would know how to separation. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Good stuff. Status code. Yeah. Yeah. This makes sense. Final take. Yes, you probably. Yeah. Apple is very study convention. One let me tweak. I also consider it instead of sign up, but sign up is totally fine. Yes. Let's go with register as sign up and to something. Yes. Tends to be linked to be more meaningful from a front end perspective. Also, what about renaming login authorize?